Good morning. Today we are going to discuss on Payment of Gratuity Act 1972. At the time of retirement or superannuation, normally at the time of retirement or superannuation on attaining the age of 58, we get gratuity. So it is the act came in force in 1972. Gratuity is a gift from the employer to the employee. The owner, the one who is running the business, that is the employer or owner, to his employee. Employee can be worker, can be called as worker or manager or any other supervisor or any other, can be called in any other name. So gratuity is a gift from owner to the worker, that is employer to his employee, for the services rendered to his establishment, for the all kind of services he has rendered in his lifetime for the establishment, he is giving, the owner is giving the gratuity to the worker at the time of retirement. Gratuity is a benefit which an employee gets at the time of retirement or when he leaves the establishment for his or his family's survival. When his gratuity is payable, gratuity is payable either at the time of retirement or the day he leaves the establishment for his own reasons. In case of death, the surveying members who are his nominees, children, wife, who are the surveying members, legal heirs will get the gratuity amount. Objectives and applicability of the Act. Objectives: gratuity provide for uniform scheme of payment throughout the country. So all over India, we need a same gratuity policy and procedures. That is why in 1972 we bought Gratuity Act. Provide for quantum of gratuity payable. Provides for payment to employees engaged in factories, mines, oil fields, plantation, port, railway companies, shops or other establishments. So payment to employees in which all places they have to be engaged: factories, mines, oil fields, plantations, ports, railway companies, shops or other establishments. Say in other establishments will be there, which will also be included in this Gratuity Act. The Act extends to whole of India except that is not applicable to Jammu and Kashmir but applicable to other all states in India. Every factory the Act applies to, where all the Act is applicable. Every factory, mine, oil field, plantation, port, railway company. These are the places where the Gratuity Act is applicable. Every shop or establishment in which 10 or more persons are employed, where more than 10 persons are employed in any one of the day in the last 12 months. Any one of the day in the last 12 months, in any one day in the last year, if you employ 10 or more persons, then the shop or establishment will be covered under Gratuity Act. Such other establishments also in which 10 or more employees are employed in any one in the last 12 months means last year, notified by central government. Once the act becomes applicable, it will be even if the number is reduced to 5, 2, 3, then also at a single day if you have employed 10 or more, that act will become applicable throughout. If that means once the act has become applicable, it will be continued even if the number of persons employed at any time after it has become so applicable far below 10. Important definitions. What is an appropriate government? Appropriate government definition set in section 2 sub A in relation to an establishment belong to or under the control of central government. Appropriate government means any kind of establishment under the control of central government, having branches in more than one state. In relation to establishment of a factory belonging to under the control of central government, any major port, mine, oil field. See, Here they specifically say central government and not state government. Okay. In any other case, in relation to an establishment means this is the definition. In any other case, other state government is included. Employee. In section 2 clause C says means any person who is employed for wages in any kind of work. Let him do any kind of work in a factory, mine, oil field, plantation, port, railway company, shop or other establishment. But see here clearly say does not include an apprentice. Any such person who holds a post under central government or state government and is governed by any other act or by any rules providing for payment of gratuity act. So not include an apprentice. Teachers in education institutions covered under definition of employee with effect from 3rd April 1997. Okay, that is as per payment of gratuity act 2009 amendment. In 2009 one amendment came with effect from 1997 the 3rd April onwards. Teachers in education institutions are considered as employee. Definition of employer. Employer means the owner. Owner means in relation to any establishment, factory, mine, oil field, plantation, port, whatever, belong to or under the control of central government, whether this entity is belonging to or the control of central government or state government, a person or authority appointed by, if it is a central government, state government establishment means the person will be appointed by the government. Otherwise, the head of the department, ministry or the department will be the employer. If the above establishment is belong to a local authority, the person appointed by such authority or CEO of such authority. In any other case, person or authority having ultimate who is the owner, either the original owner or a partner or any directors of the company, who is having ultimate control over the affairs of the establishment, whether called as manager or MD. Next is family. Section 2 clause H. In case of a male employee, himself, his wife, children, dependent parents of his wife. Sometimes the person itself has to take care of wife's father and mother, and the widow and children of his predecessor son, if any. So male employee, in case of male employee, these are the persons coming as family. In case of female employee, herself, her husband, her children, her dependent parents and dependent parents of her husband and widow and children of her predecessor son, if any. Any child lawfully adopted by employee shall be deemed to be included in his family. If a person is adopting a child means lawfully, legally, if we are taking adoption of a child means that child is part of the family only. Continuous service. Section 2A say what is a continuous service. An employee shall be said to be in continuous service for a period if he has for that period been uninterrupted. See, uninterrupted means continuous. And including service which may be interrupted on, but if it is not continuous, the period of working is not continuous. Why? Because of sickness, accident, leave, absence from duty without leave due to layoff, strike, lockout is all not the fact of the employee. Worker has no fault due to strike or lockout. It is all the part of the entity. Cessation of work not to any part of the employee. In those cases, if he is in leave means it's okay. No, it is not taken into consideration. Otherwise, he should work in continuous service. Okay. In case of establishment, special provisions. In case of establishment other than seasonal establishment, seasonal, at the time of Diwali, Christmas, like that festival is there. So seasonal establishment will come and will be working on that seasons. Other than that, not seasonal, normal establishment, if it is establishment in operation for 1 year, 190 days if the employee work under ground, and 190 days if the establishment is working for 1 month. And it has two categorization, 190 days and 240 days. If the employee is working under mine or an establishment which works less than 6 days in a week, he is working in a mine or he is working in an entity or establishment where the number of working days is just less than, not even 6 days. It is less than 6 days. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 in a week. In that case, he need to work for 190 days minimum. In other cases, he have to work for 240 days. That is, it is not a mine and it has a working of more 6 or more than 6 days in a week. Then the person has to work for 240 days. Establishment, if establishment is in operation for less than 6 months only it has worked, means instead of 190 days, 240 days, 95 days and 120 days will be applicable. Now we are going to discuss about seasonal establishment. Establishment made for season like Diwali or Christmas. An employee shall be deemed to be continuous service if he has actually worked for minimum 75% of number of days on which establishment was in operation during such period. See, seasonal establishment, they will be in operating for a few days. Out of that few days, into 70, that how many days the establishment was open or working, that how many days that establishment actively run into 75%. Then we will get a fixed number of days. This much days this person has to work to be eligible for getting gratuity. 75% of number of days on which establishment was in operation for seasonal establishment. Points to be remembered. Service is not continuous in case of legal termination of service and subsequent reappointment. Sometimes legal termination will happen and he will go for the case and he will win, and if there comes a situation that we have to re-employ him and subsequently re-employ, then also he will get gratuity because actually it has proved that it is not because of his default he got the termination. So he is subsequently re-employed. The period of continuous service is to be erected from the date of employment and not date from commencement of this act. This continuous service is checked from the date of employment and not from the commencement of the act. From the date of employment, when he is joining, the date of getting the appointment letter and when he is joining. Mere absence from duty without blame cannot be said to result in breach of continuity of service. Sometimes he might have taken leave, absent from duty without taking, like he didn't take the leave but was absent in the duty. That doesn't mean that he has breached the continuity. Provisions related to gratuity payable. When is gratuity payable? After he has rendered continuous service. Till now we were telling continuous service. How many years he has to work for continuously? 5 years. How many? 5 years. 5 years. So, if he has rendered his service for continuous 5 years, then at the time of superannuation, maybe 58, retirement or resignation, death or disablement or due to accident or disease, whatever be the reason in above 3, any one of the reasons of among these 3, he can move out of the entity. If he has 5 years of service, then he will get the gratuity. To whom gratuity is payable? It is payable normally to the employee. To the worker only gratuity is payable. In case death means his nominee will get. If no nominee means his legal heirs will get. Where any such nominees or heirs is a minor, then such share of such minor shall be deposited with controlling authority. If any one of the nominee is a minor, he will deposit that amount with the controlling authority. When he attains the maturity, he can collect it from the controlling authority. In which all cases service of 5 years is not needed, non-applicability of continuous service of 5 years. Completion of continuous service of 5 years is not necessary for the termination of employment of any employee is due to death or disablement. Calculation of gratuity amount payable. Section 4 sub 2. In case establishment other than seasonal. So normal establishment, how we are calculating gratuity. Normal employee, normal establishment, 15 days bar 15 days divided by 26 days into last month drawn salary into number of years service rendered. So 15 days into 15 days divided by 26 days into in last month how much salary he has taken into how many years he had given his service. If they suppose he has worked for 30 years and 2 months, then the years will be 30 only. Suppose he has worked 30 months and 7 months, then year will be counted as 31. In case of piece rated employee, in a normal establishment where he has worked for piece rated. Piece rated employee means 15 days divided by 26 days into last month drawn salary. Last month how much salary he has drawn. Average of total wages received for a period of 3 months excluding overtime. So see, it is a normal establishment, but he is given piece rated. Piece rated means how many pieces he is making, how many items he is making. Depend on that wages are given. Okay, then at that time 15 divided by 26 into last month drawn salary. How much he had drawn last month? That is that last month drawn salary will be average of total wages received for a period of 3 months, because suppose in last month he had worked made only average pieces. Before that he may be making more number of pieces. So the salary may be more. That is why for his case we are taking average of total wages received for a period of 3 months. And these 3 months will not include overtime. Overtime will not be included. Normal working hours will be included for 3 months, and average salary of 3 months will be multiplied with 15 divided by 26. If he has given more than 6 months service also, which will be rounded off. Next is in case of seasonal establishment, employees who work throughout the year. Seasonal establishment where a person is working throughout the year, 15 divided by 26 into last month drawn salary into number of years of service rendered. Last month drawn salary into number of years service rendered. If it is more than 6 months means we round it into 1 year. Employee who worked only during the season. Sometimes the employee will be worked only during the season. Seasons means it's a seasonal establishment. In that there are two categories there. One may be working for the full year, but during the peak season they will employ extra work laborers. So that extra laborers will be getting a gratuity of 7 days divided by 26 days. Instead of 15, it will be 7 into last month drawn salary into number of years of service rendered. If it is more than 6 months, it will be rounded to 1 year. Next is computation of gratuity of disabled employee, section 4 sub 4. When an employee became disabled due to any accident or disease and is not in a position to do some work and re-employed, if he is not able to do any other job, he is not able to do the same, but due to the accident or disease, he will get a gratuity. For the continuous service of 5 years is not required. For the period preceding the disablement, on the basis of wages last drawn by the employee at the time of his disablement. At the time of disablement, how much salary wages he has drawn, on the basis of that he will get. For the period subsequent to disablement, on the basis of reduced wages as drawn by him at the time of termination of services. Next is forfeiture of gratuity. Forfeiture of gratuity means uh, they will not give 100% of gratuity. They will only give a part of gratuity. 100% gratuity they will not give. May or may not give a part of the gratuity. Why? Because we have done some damages to the entity or the property of the entity. Forfeiture to the extent of damage or loss. If the services of an employee terminated for willful omission or negligence, due to the willful omission and negligence of the employee, some bad had happened. So what the damage, the amount of damage will be reduced by the gratuity of that employee, which causes any damages or loss to or destruction of a property belonging to employer. He or she might have destroyed the property of the employer. Gratuity shall be forfeited to the extent of damage. Suppose gratuity payable is 1 lakh. Damage cost is 70,000. Only 30,000 gratuity will be payable. Wholly or partly forfeiture of gratuity. If the service have been terminated during the course of his employment for his riotous or disorderly conduct or any other act of violence, he has made some kind of violence or done moral turpitude. Gratuity payable to employee may be wholly or partially forfeited. Okay. Next is nomination for gratuity. The general provision is that gratuity is paid to employee by his owner, employer, except in case of death, the earned gratuity is paid to the successors. That is nominee. Yeah, then general provisions, gratuity is paid by the owner or to the owner to the employee itself. Okay. Otherwise to the legal hires. Time period for appointment. He can appoint the worker while on the service. He can appoint a nominee. A nominee as a nominee means in his absence who will get the amount. Every employee who has completed 1 year of service shall make a nomination who shall be entitled to get gratuity in case death of nominator. A person must work continuously for 5 years to get the nominee, but on completion of 1 year of service, he can give the name of the nominee. If employee having a family, nomination shall be in favor of one or more members of his family. Nomination made in favor of a person not a member of his family shall be void. Suppose he is giving the nomination to a person who is not a family member, then the nomination will become void. Okay, will become void. If employee having no family or subsequently acquired family, the nomination may be made in favor of any person or persons. If employee subsequently acquires a family, such nomination shall forfeit become invalid and shall make a while he is in employment he or she was not married, but afterwards she made a family. She got a family. So then she or he should give a fresh nomination. Okay. Application for payment of gratuity. Section 7 read with the rule 7. Time for making application. A written application shall be made to the employer. Within 30 days from the date the gratuity becomes payable, within 30 days of payable, he should make an application to the owner. If it is a superannuation, at least 30 days. Superannuation means in according to the rules and regulations of the establishment, after a certain age, a person cannot work in that establishment. That is superannuation. At least 30 days before the date. In that case, 30 days before superannuation. Okay, the other case was within. This is before superannuation, you have to give the application. In case of death, within 30, after the death, Within 30 days, he can give the nominee can give the application. If an employee dies without making nomination, his legal hire shall apply within 1 year from gratuity become payable. If a person died without a nominee, legal hires can jointly file an application within 1 year. Method of presenting application. Application may be presented either by personal service or be a registered post with acknowledgement to. Any dispute in this regard shall be a dispute is there, you can go to controlling authority. Obligation of the employer for payment of gratuity. Determination of the amount of gratuity once became payable. So if they are paying lately, if they are paying gratuity not on time, then they have to give the interest to the employee, worker or the nominee. Intimation of gratuity is determined by employer to the person to whom gratuity payable and to the controlling authority. Employer shall arrange to pay the amount of gratuity. Owner should arrange to pay within 30 days the amount of gratuity to the worker or the legal heir. If the amount of gratuity payable is not paid within the time, the employer shall pay the interest at the rate of 10% per annum, except if delayed due to fault of the employee. If the employee is late in submitting the application or is there any fault in the worker, means it's okay. From the part of the owner, he should pay the gratuity or be ready within 30 days. If he is not paying on time, means he has to give a 10% interest to the worker. Disputes as to the amount of gratuity or admissible. What is the amount of gratuity? If claim for gratuity is not admissible, employer shall issue a notice to the applicant, employee, nominee, legal heir, and a copy to his controlling authority. If the owner is telling the worker is not eligible for gratuity, then he has to give a notice to the worker as well as to certifying authority. If disputes relate to amount of gratuity payable, if there is any kind of dispute which relate to gratuity payable, the owner shall deposit with certifying authority such amount as he admits to be payable, and certifying authority shall pay the amounts of deposit to the applicant. If there is any disputes, the first thing before going with the disputes, the owner must deposit that amount with the certifying authority. Appeal against the order of controlling authority. If you are not happy with the order of controlling authority, what you can do, worker can do. Any person aggrieved by the order of certifying authority within 16 days of receipt of order may give an appeal to appropriate government. Appeal may also be entertained even after the expiry of 60 days if they are showing a sufficient cause. Order of appropriate government or the adjudicating authority may, after giving the opportunity of being heard, confirm, modify, reverse or make a good decision. Deposit of certificate by employer. The employer's appeal shall not be admitted without producing the certificate or deposit of gratuity amount issued by certifying authority or deposit of said amount with adjudicating authority. So before the going with the disputes, the owner must deposit the gratuity payable with the certifying authority. After getting the order, if it is in favor of the worker, the amount will go to the worker. If the order is in favor of the employer, the amount will go back to the employer, the owner. Recovery of gratuity, section 8. Application or recovery of gratuity. An employer fails to pay the owner didn't pay on time to his nominee or to him. So the employee or his legal heir may apply to certifying authority stating that they didn't get the amount. Issue a certificate for recovery. Certifying authority shall, after giving opportunity of heard to the owner, issue a certificate to the collector. Certifying authority, after giving opportunity to the owner to say whatever he wants, to say a reason, he will issue a certificate to the collector to recover the amount of gratuity along with the compound interest. Okay, certifying authority will ask the collector to recover the gratuity amount with the compound interest from the owner and pay to the worker. Penalties. Penalty for non-payment of gratuity. If the employer fails to make the payment of gratuity payable under the Act, then shall be punishable. If owner is not paying the amount, then what is the punishment? Imprisonment of minimum 6 months, which may extend to 2 years. The court trying the offence may for the reasons to be recorded by it in writing if it is the opinion that a lesser term of imprisonment or imprisonment of a fine would mean if imprisonment may at a minimum 6 months, maximum 2 years. But in certain situations they can even give less than the term imprisonment depend on the volume of the case. Penalty for contravention of this act. An owner who contravenes or makes default in comply with any of the provisions, again if he violated any of the provisions of the Activity Act, imprisonment for a term, example, more than 10 workers are there. Then 10 or more workers in any one of the day in the preceding 12 months is employed. Must be enrolled in the Activity Act. Imprisonment for a term which may extend minimum 3 months, which may extend to 1 year, or fine 10,000 to 25,000, or both imprisonment and fine will be applicable. Thank you.